Hello everyone, welcome back to the Office 365 Tips and Tricks webinar brought to you by the Marks Group. My name is Megan Hagedorn and today we're going to talk about the following 3 tips. So first we're going to go over dictation in Word and PowerPoint so you can actually use dictation to type stuff on the screen, which has been super helpful with the baby. So I've been getting familiar with that and it's been really useful for me. So next we're going to go over the Microsoft's, Microsoft is changing their default save location to OneDrive, and we're going to go through the known folder move process or KFM process, and it's a little bit hidden, so I'll show you where to find that. And then finally we will walk through how to hide and unhide a chat in Microsoft Teams. That includes both a chat with one person and a group chat. So let's get going. So first, dictation in Word and PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you this in Word. Sorry if you hear some cooing in the background. All right, so to use dictation, you just have to find this. It's under the Home tab. You have to find this little microphone and dictate button. If you pull down this dictate button, you're going to be able to select the language that you're speaking. So if I enable this, hopefully the words will start appearing on the screen, and I'm not doing any typing. To add punctuation, you just have to say period, exclamation point, question mark, things like that. And it does capture your ums. So all of that has been showing up on this. Oh, and I clicked. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. So if you noticed, I just clicked in the middle of that paragraph, and it did start entering text where I last clicked. So just be aware of that. I think it has a timeout of 30 seconds of silence. So if you're like me, I do a lot of thinking as I'm typing. So dictation is sometimes difficult because I have to keep talking within 30 seconds or it will turn itself off. But so just be aware of that as well. But as you can see, it captured punctuation and capitalization with the I'm and contractions. It knows to put in a apostrophe. So all of these things are captured automatically in dictation. So that's been super helpful for me for having a baby around. So you can just click that button and dictate and text will appear there. So I'm going to exit out of that. And the same thing works in PowerPoint. So you can dictate in there as well. Next up, the known folder move process. So to access this known folder move process, really, you actually have to right-click on the OneDrive symbol down in your little taskbar. So if I do that, it's going to open up this little menu, and then we select Settings. Then we select the Auto Save tab, and then we click Update Folders. So if you see KFM or Known Folder Move, this is what that's talking about, and it's kind of hard to find on your own. So and there's nothing called, like, none of these tabs or buttons or even this window is called Known Folder Move. That's just the process that Microsoft has called it. So that can be a little confusing. So this is how you get to that. So enable the whatever folders you want to protect, and by protect it means having a backup on OneDrive, and they'll sync to OneDrive. So if I start protection for both of these folders, they're pretty small. Most of my stuff is already in OneDrive. You'll see these 2 bars going, indicating that it's going through the process and things are being set up. You can also see the space you have left in OneDrive. So I'm going to let this go for a little bit and we'll check back on it in a couple minutes. I'm going to pivot over to the Microsoft Teams tip, showing and hiding a chat in Microsoft Teams. Got a couple questions about this. over the last month or so. So I've got a group chat here and then an individual chat. And I'm going to show you how to show or hide both of these. So to hide a chat, all you have to do is click the ... and this applies to both a group chat or a individual chat. You just click the More button or the ... button and then select Hide, and you'll see that chat disappears. Now, there's no like hidden chats tab anywhere. I've heard that they were going to be adding this potentially in the future, but for right now, the workaround to unhide a chat is to search for the person who you were chatting with, whose chat you hid. This is not a foolproof, sorry, my mouse just disconnected. This is not a foolproof solution because it's very possible that you forget who you were chatting with. So that can be a little tricky, but if you do remember, okay, I'll get back to that in a second. So if you remember who you were chatting with, whose chat you hid, you can search for that up in the search box up here. And if I click Corey Babka and select the More options here, I just have to click Unhide and it will unhide that. So we also had a group chat with Corey and Carrie. Again, if I start typing Corey or Carrie and Corey, I think that works as well. Ooh, it does not work as well. Okay. If I do Corey and Carrie, interesting. Okay, so start typing the person's name in a group chat, and both of those names should, or however many names you have in the chat, should appear. And again, we can unhide that by clicking the ... So I hide this. It's going to go away. If I start typing Carrie, we're going to see this group chat here, or Corey. We'll see it here again. And I thought that you could type in both names, but it does not appear that you can do that. So just type in one of the names and you'll see the group chat here. We select it. It's going to show up under the Recent tab. We'll click the ... and then you select Unhide. So pretty straightforward. That's how you hide or unhide chats. Again, I have heard that Microsoft will be updating this to something a little bit more logical, like a hidden tab or something, or maybe a little text down here. But that is the current workaround. So going back to our OneDrive known folder move process, we have a file that can't be protected because there's something in use that is this webinar. So I'm going to skip it. That's fine. We select View Sync Process, and it'll show us all of the files that needed attention. Again, we skip that, and then you can see all of that stuff that's being backed up here. Or I should say, instead of backed up, I'll say synced. That's the verbiage that Microsoft uses. And we see that in my case, we've got 3.1 gigs that are backing or that are syncing to OneDrive. And we'll see we can see the folders that are being synced by selecting that. So once again, to access the known folder move stuff, we right-click on the OneDrive symbol in your taskbar, go to Settings, go to the Auto Save tab, and then select Update Folders. That's going to open, this is the known folder move window, and from here you can select the folders. It's desktop, pictures, and documents in every case, and those will begin the backup process to Office 365. I'm sorry, OneDrive, not Office 365. All right. Okay, so that just about covers it for me today. I know these were some pretty quick tips, but so once again, we talked about dictation in both Word and PowerPoint. You can select the little Microsoft button to start dictation. It's been super helpful for me, and I think that's a nifty little feature that you don't have to pay extra for. Then we talked about known folder move, which is this process of syncing these desktop pictures and documents folders to OneDrive. And just FYI, Microsoft is changing the default save location for Office 365 subscribers to OneDrive. So just be aware of that. And then finally, we talked about the hide and unhide process in Microsoft Teams. You can select the ... next to a chat to hide it, and then you can search for the name of the person you are chatting with or one of the people you are chatting with if it's a group chat. The chat will appear under the Recent tab, and then you can select that ... button again and select Unhide. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know by emailing me at megan@marksgroup.net, or you can leave a comment on any of the blog posts. I always check those, and I either respond by email or directly in the on the blog post with a comment. So thank you so much. I hope this was helpful, and have a great day.